Good evening, Miss Mela. We are from Group 6. Now we're going to explain about South Africa. But before we start, I'm going to introduce our members. The first members start from me, Johannes Edison Inovite with NPM 2215. And the second member, Benedictus Gandut with NPM 182. And the third member, Edwario Tiawapari with NPM 373. And the last member, Renalus Goni with NPM 187. I will be the first presentation. South Africa. South Africa is constitutional democracy with a three-level system and independent judiciary. There are three ranks, namely national, regional and local government, which have legislative and executive bodies with their respective areas of authority. With a population of over 16 million people, South Africa is the 23rd most populous country in the world, covering an area of 1,221 kilometers. The remainder compares Africa's largest communities of European descent, Asian descent, and multiracial descent. Its pluralistic composition is reflected in the constitutional recognition of 11 official languages, making South Africa the fourth most official language in the world. According to the 2011 census, the first two most widely spoken languages are Zulu and Xhosa. The main characteristic of South African culture is its proximity to nature and wildlife. In South Africa, you can find many unique and endangered species and find lions, tigers, elephants, monkeys, or zebras. This is an excellent place to try the famous South African safari and get closer to incredible nature. South Africa values. Other African culture, values and practice include the sense of hospitality, good relation, sacred and religion, sanctity of life, respect for elders and authority, morality, language, proverbs and time, and so on. Almost all of the African culture values are derivative of the African communitarism. Core concept: opportunism, independence, materialism, assertiveness, caution optimism, entrepreneurship, cultural sensitivity, self-protection. And the next presentation will be delivered by Edu.
Thank you, Ino. I will continue. South Africa stereotype. Most South Africans are trigger-happy hunters. Hunting is a popular hobby and career for many South African men and women. Whether you condone it or not, you might find solace in knowing that the hunting industry benefits with life conservation in South Africa and inject sum of money into rural area. Whichever way you look at it, hunters aren't into it simply for the sake of killing a wild animal. In most cases, as part of the animal is used from the skin of meat to scale and horns. The next apartheid is a racial political policy implemented in South Africa 1984. In the apartheid system, there was a separation of rights and obligations between the white and black races, which was legalization by law. Apartheid's political roots date back to early 20th century AD. The politic of racial regression in South Africa began after the Boer War, when the Union of South Africa was formed in 1910 under British control. Europeans in South Africa established a new racial political structure and police in the country. We take it next by Benny.
Now I'm continue the material about the verbal or direct communication. Though mannerism in communication vary among ethnic groups, most South Africans have direct style of communication. They generally speak confidently and straight to the point. Their intention and meaning is generally very self-evident. For example, a South African is likely to openly point out when you are wrong or disagree with you on the spot. This can come across as overly assertive or blunt. However, keep in mind that is not generally the intention. Moreover, they are likely to appreciate similar honesty and do not take offense to it as such. Raised voice. Afrikaners and Black South Africans, or particular females, naturally tend to speak at louder volume than those from the English-speaking West. It's also normal for Black South Africans to continue conversation by shouting when situated at the distance from one another, standing across the roads or room. Silence. Silence can be interpreted as a sign that the conversation is not engaging or that something is wrong. South Africans can grow uncomfortable with prolonged periods of silence and may naturally speak to fill it. Location and formality. Communication may vary depending on the location, with more traditional approaches being used in rural areas and people adopting more cosmopolitan approaches in urban areas. For example, Afrikaans people may find it very rude to refer to elders without using the prefix om or uncle or Teni or auntie while in small town. However, in urban environments they may simply use the former minor, Mephur or Joffrey or Mr., Mrs. or Miss when talking about other people.
Okay, thank you for the time, Benny. And the next non-verbal physical context. South Africans are generally comfortable with physical affection and like to express warmth through looks, action as hugging and patting each other on the back. A lack of physical contact can be interpreted as aloofness, underlines, or a look or a lack of trust. Hence, some ethnic groups may find it employed to make gestures with the left hand. Black South Africans generally favor the right hand. White South Africans are generally comfortable with using both left and the right hands. Putting your hands in your pockets can be misinterpreted as disrespectful expression and body language. Black South Africans are very animated and communicate heavily through their facial expressions when speaking. White South Africans generally make less use of the hands gesture in the conversation. Eye contact South Africans tend to maintain steady eye contact throughout the duration of conversation. However, older South Africans may avert their eyes to show respect to authority. Personal space. Black South Africans often sit and stand very close. Therefore, some may stand at proximities that a Westerner might consider to be uncomfortably close. It is likely they have not been made aware of the discomfort some people may feel with these gestures, making a V with the index finger and the middle fingers in the shapes of the base side is very rude if your palm is first facing towards yourself. Youths in South Africa sometimes use the signal to the west as the shaka or loose sign or thumb and the little fingers expanded to other fingers against to palm rocket side to side to express hello or goodbye. Pointing, it consider to use your index finger to point off someone based on this segment of the story. It is possible to conclude the moral value of responsibility comes from a mother to her child when she noticed an old man approaching his child. We can apply this moral value our daily lives, which is that we must be able to take responsibility for the people we care about. And it is also our duty as parents to protect their children. Okay, that's all our presentation. Thank you.